Nice, cool day for practice today. First day in full pads. Really pleased with a lot of things during practice. We did have high temperatures this morning. It was a cooker out there with the humidity, and in full pads and the energy up. But I tell you, the kids didn't disappoint. Started off with a live goal line 11-on-11 drill, and I thought for the first day live contact in that situation, that area of the field, I thought we executed pretty clean down there. You just worry. First day of contact, a lot of times you see some sloppy stuff, but I thought that was a very clean drill, and good inside run period for the first day, and then I thought they really pushed through and finished practice very strong. Had a good field goal work at the end and a pretty high energy team period at the end. So good first day in pads.
Who do you think, did anybody kind of rise to the occasion when things got live today at all?
I think a lot of people did. It's one that kind of stood out to me was down there in the inside run period, which is a deal where the offense can't throw it. It's a between the tackles kind of deal. So there ain't a whole lot of run room right there. And Shane Calhoun, we had an ISO play. He's the lead blocker, and really had a big block on one of our big inside linebackers. To pop, I think it was Keaton or Rahjai one. Pop one of those guys free, and that's a block a year ago I don't think Shane could have made. And that's a block a lot of guys, a lot of tight ends can't make because it takes athleticism to be able to, go up against a guy that has pretty good athletic ability, and then it takes some physicality against, the guys that are the size of our linebackers. So, lots of guys like that today that I thought did some good things. I thought Pop McKay, showed some of what, he has down there in that goal line period. He should have been hit for a loss. When the second offense is going against the second defense, and he was able to break the tackle in the backfield and gain positive yardage. Sometimes that doesn't stand out to fans in the stands, but that's a -2 play turns into a +3 play. That's a 5-yard difference, inside the 10-yard line. So, lots of positives.
With Pop, how's he coming along just learning the playbook? I know it's a lot.
It is a lot. I think he's coming along. It's a lot. And you start throwing in the whole passing game to a high school kid, and it's much more complex than anything he's ever done. But he's handling it well, and the physical ability has shown itself already. I think he's a guy that's going to be able to play for us this year. Obviously we have two very talented starting tailbacks, but you're going to need more than two throughout the season.
Coach, can you talk about the offensive line and how they're looking so far?
I thought had a good day today. That's what I was talking about when I said that the goal line period was so clean. Is you didn't have any false starts. I thought really good execution. I thought the level of contact was really good at the line of scrimmage, and so I'm pleased with that for the first day. Sometimes that can be a little sloppy. So I think you're seeing the experience. You're seeing all the hard work that those guys have put in, and certainly that's a group that we knew we had to improve. When we got here in 19, and they have really worked hard to bring that group along to where now I think it's something that can be a strength of our program.
Coach, do you change the way your daily operations are for the heat?
Yeah. We took 2 5-minute breaks today where, we have cold towels, wet buckets, Gatorade, all that stuff, and we try to get them over in the shade near the tower and just, let them cool off, and just put that cold towel around your head, try to get the core body temperature down. And really try to keep that hydration level up throughout practice. So we took 2 of those, about a third of the way through and about 2/3 of the way through to try to help them be able to finish practice, and I thought that was pretty effective today.
Did you have anybody that was the most excited to be hitting something today? Did you see something?
Oh, I think a lot of them. I think Bruce Bivens is always excited for contact. You could hear that the other day, but Xavier McIver, he kind of called it out during the team meeting first thing at 8 a.m. this morning. So I think a lot of the guys look forward to today, and that's why I thought you had really good energy.
You talked to them yesterday about bringing it today, and it seemed like they acclimated really quick to contact, and looked like they hadn't missed a beat. Well,
I think that I think that they embrace that. I don't think this is a team that's a soft football team. They're a bunch that's going to play physical. Now it's the thing. Like we talked about, I'll go look at the film on that goal line period, but we got to be able to play physical and play, effectively, executing, not making mistakes, not having mental busts. And so the challenge is, moving on after the first day of live contact to where tomorrow, it's the second day. Okay, and you're back out there, and then the next day it's the third day. And then, you got Friday and we got scrimmage Saturday. It's stacking those days together because, this is the week in camp where I promise you, we all forget what day it is. I mean, you go to bed at night, you go in the house and go to bed, you wake back up, I leave, and you get back here and it's dark when you leave, it's dark when you get here, same thing for the kids, and then what day is it? You have no idea if it could be Saturday, it could be Tuesday, who knows? And so that part of camp is really the challenge of keeping our mentality and keeping our focus and keeping our motivation day in and day out. And that's where I've got to do a good job of making sure we take care of them, getting enough rest, getting enough hydration, being smart on what we do day in and day out. But at the same time, we've really got to push ourselves right now because this is what prepares you for that, tie ball game, close ball game, fourth quarter, hot September ball game, where you've got to play through that mental fatigue late in the ball game.
Donnie had said yesterday sometimes that on offense right now that the game plan of just getting into Rahjai and Keaton, and he threw in Snead, can kind of be simple and a good thing. I mean, what do you think about that, of having a couple kind of go-to players that seem to be kind of in their peak?
Well, what we ideally want when we get ready to line up is about 6 of those guys. I do think that everybody has a lot of confidence in those 3 guys, and that you're never going to make a mistake getting the ball in their hands. Ideally, we want to see CJ come along, Shane Calhoun come along, Audie come along, some of these other receivers come along, to where you don't just have a couple of guys. You have a lot of guys that if you can get the ball in their hand, they're going to make something happen. Josiah Hatfield's the guy that I've really challenged this camp. He's a third-year player. He's not a rookie anymore. He's got experience. He has tremendous ability. He's a guy that we have to be able to count on. To be able to get the ball to him and him make something happen. So I think, we've got 3 guys that we're fortunate to have, and we just want to cultivate some more and get some more guys in that kind of role.
The rest of this week, can you take us through the schedule, just leading up to the scrimmage?
Well, scrimmage Friday or scrimmage Saturday, probably, maybe a touch lighter on Friday, from a load standpoint. Probably have one more, pretty heavy day either tomorrow or Wednesday, and then the other be kind of a medium load day. And it's something new that we're doing this preseason camp is just monitoring the load each day on the kids. We've got a way to do that now, and so just really want to make sure that we're fairly fresh on Saturday so we can see as much of a game simulation as we can here a week and a half, almost 2 weeks in camp. Okay, thanks a lot.
Thanks, Coach.
Rahjai, I think the first team play today, we kind of lunged into the end zone there. Was that definitely a touchdown? Did you hear any three from the defense or anything?
Oh, yeah.
It looked close.
They gonna argue, they gonna argue, but you stop me, you can't stop Keaton. You feel me? You stop Keaton, you can't stop me. So
How much do you guys feed off each other in the backfield right now?
100%, man, every day.
Oh,
Trying to compete every day.
iron sharp iron.
Iron sharp iron, just like he said.
You guys have a nickname for yourself yet, or you ready for the
We actually do. We drew it on the board. Yesterday?
Yeah,
Call him Icy.
yeah.
Call me K3.
Okay.
Yeah, man. Y'all get used to that, man. Y'all get used to that.
Rahjai, you look like you were pretty fired up after getting that first touchdown in contact for this team early in the practice. Talk about that and that whole period there a little bit.
It's been a little minute, man. We just strap it up, So, the second week of fall camp will always be, a little shaky. Everybody's sore, everybody's tired. So, you gotta have somebody to push through. I'm trying to lead the offense. Me and Keaton trying to lead the offense to be better every single day. So, I think I brought the energy today. Stay with it all day. Like I say, 1% better every day. Can't settle on today. I'll be better tomorrow.
With you guys being the second year, how much of a challenge is it both of you had such a great freshman year. How much of a challenge is it this year to exceed of being a sophomore now?
I mean, we both pushing for 1,000 yards each. 150, 250 a game.
Yeah. So keep us accountable for that.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Do you still, Rahjai, play with that chip on your shoulder? I mean, you played with it last year, even though you had a pretty good freshman year.
I ain't did nothing. Not yet. So, I'm still trying to get to a bowl game. We want the team goals. We're not too much focused on the independent.
Keaton, how cool is it that y'all still are freshmen. You know, I mean, you played basically a full season, but you're still a freshman. And you have 4 years left. Is that an advantage?
I think it's great. It is great. I mean, we can only get better. Ain't no going backwards. So yeah, we both push each other till we both, you know, make it to the league. We still gonna push each other.
Yeah.
You don't feel like a freshman, right?
Oh no.
What would you say the biggest difference from last year when you were coming into this year at this point is right now for you guys?
You know, we came in, you know, it's a lot about confidence, you know. You see everybody, you see they bigger, they faster. So, you know, you gotta get that confidence, you know. From day one, me and Keaton started off on second field. Coach Houston was talking about this the other day. So we couldn't let that get to us, you know. We could have stayed on the second field and just been mediocre, or, you know, come together and be great together to become that first field.
Yeah. And also like, you know, me and Ra like push each other every day. Now that the defense slowed down, it just top speed. Now we know what's going on, it just slowed down.
Tremendous.
Rahjai, do you give Keaton any flag? He's known as a big play guy, but you had an 80-yard touchdown last year.
Yeah.
Do you give him any,
Oh yeah, man, I be telling him he's not faster than me, you know. So, you know, we argue about that all the time.
It's
but, you know,
crazy because me and Ra knew each other since what, 8 years old.
Yeah, we've been
He
on
used to be faster than me.
I was just gonna say, have y'all raced recently?
Recently?
Not recently, but you know, like growing up, I had him.
He was this size at 8 years old.
But now, yeah, he got me now. Though. He got me.
Keaton, you broke off a few of those runs in camp and scrimmages. Are you hungry to do it in a game too?
Oh yeah, always hungry.
You better.
Always hungry.
You better.
Yeah.
You better.
You guys are talking about getting better every day. What are some of the things you guys feel you need to do to even raise your game another level?
You know, we still gotta continue to practice hard. You know, the other guys, young guys, are still trying to build and still trying to come get our spots. You know, every day. You know, we all cool. You know, family, but you know, they want to be on the field also. So we gotta every day, like I said, 1% better every day.
Any young guys behind y'all running back that impress y'all thus far?
Proud of all of them.
All of them.
Proud of all of them. They catching on fast.
Yeah.
Real fast.
Thanks, guys.
Appreciate y'all.
Yeah.
Good job.
Racy and
All right.
You got the Abrams gear on.
Yes, sir.
Fernando, how's it going? You know, 6 days into the preseason camp this far.
Yeah, it's going great. I'm enjoying it. I love this. It's nice. Teams coming together real well, offense and defense. I think we're working really hard. So ready to start the year though, that's for sure.
First day of contact, talk about that a little bit, how quick you guys seem to come right in and acclimate to popping right off the first.
Well, to tell you the truth, we're already acclimated. We go full speed all the time. You know, our walkthroughs are full speed, so it's really not too much different than a Shells day. You know, maybe a little different for the skill guys because they gotta take guys to the ground. But as an O lineman, you know, that's my job to make sure they don't do that. So overall, our team loves to hit. So it's mostly like a energizing day, I guess. Let's just say.
I was gonna say, it seems like maybe the vocal, the trash talking a little bit, if anything, is the main difference. Is that right? In the trenches and stuff.
I guess I wouldn't be too much trash talking. I would say it's part of football. You know, you get a little chippy out there, but it's all fun and games. You know, between the lines and everything.
We talked to Sean Bailey back in the spring. He said basically you and him made a pact. We get an extra year. There's no doubt we're coming back. So kind of take us through that conversation and how easy that decision was.
So it was before we heard about the COVID deal with getting another year, and you know, we were just joking around. We're like, dude, if we get another year, you know, let's just do it. Let's just stick together. You know, we're buddies. We live together, so we're best friends, and we just, you know, we love being here. We love ECU, and we just knew we had to come back for another year.
Can you talk about the difference in this offensive line and the maturation of it overall, and you know, how much you guys have gotten a lot? First of all, it seems like the whole group is a lot bigger.
Right.
And but can you talk about the evolution of this offensive line?
Well, I give all that credit, you know, to the guys and to Coach Shank. You know, buying in, learning the concepts of, you know, how to block and
how to work with each other, and mainly communication between us. You know, who we're going to, who we're working with, which direction, which gap we got, all that. That's the biggest part about like how we've grown as a unit. We've learned how to talk to each other, the lingo, the words we say, and just how to communicate better. And you know, under Big John's, you know, strength and conditioning, we've grown as well there. So we've grown as maturity and physically. And I think last year, the year before, we got a lot of guys on the field. Coach Shank rotated us out. We got a lot of experience on and off the field, so that helped a lot too.
How important is versatility up there? I mean, you obviously have played center, you got to guard some, and done some different things. I mean, is that important? Because you know guys are going to get hurt or nicked up or here and there, that type of thing.
Right, so because people can get nicked up and hurt, it is very important to be versatile, but it's also, again, part of the game. You adapt, but really how Coach Shank teaches it, it's a concept. So what we do on the right side, we do on the left side. So it's not really too much of a difference other than which foot you have back and who you're working with, left side or right guy.
How do you think Avery's doing, kind of transition to the center? I know you missed, the spring. How do you think he's kind of done in that role?
I think he's really stepped up. He's been one of the more vocal guys, taking over the line, and that's what you got to do as a center. And I think he's doing a great job.
And right now, at this point in camp, is it full war between the D-line room and the O-line room at this point with the hitting?
I'm sorry, you say that again?
Is it full-on war between the O-line room and the D-line room now at this point?
On the field? Yeah. Off the field? No.
Who's the toughest guy to block?
Toughest guy to block? Oh, man. For me, I hate going against Eli Morris. And then Rick. Yeah, they're tough. But I don't know. They all they're all pretty good. So.
What do you like doing better? Do you like being in the interior, or do you like kind of playing at guard type, or what do you like best?
I like being on the field.
All the coaches kind of talked about when it gets this hot during camp and it's that mental grind. You've obviously been here for a while. Have you had to help some of the younger guys, push through that kind of mental barrier?
Yeah, I mean, the heat, we deal with it every year. It's North Carolina. I've been down here long enough to realize that, you got to hydrate. You got to be eating right. You got to be getting your sleep. But really, the heat doesn't really get to you unless you let it get to you. It's a mentality. So you just got to, push it to the back, forget about it, because it's going to be hot. And it's just how it is.
How tight is this O-line's bond with the quarterback with Old Fernando?
We love Holton Anders. I will do anything for Holton Anders. That's my guy.
What do you feel like this group has to do to be better this year to improve and to maybe collect a few more wins? And what's the difference between doing that and not doing it?
How we need to improve? I think we just got to stay on track. Trust the process. Trust Coach Houston. What he's got us on, the coaches and the resources he's provided us with our coaches and whatnot. Just keep following him, following his lead, and then in the locker room as well, leadership from some of the older guys and even the younger guys. They hold us all at a standard that we need to keep, and I think if we stay on that track, then we're going to go out there and we're going to do some really great things.
Thanks, Fernando.
Thank you guys. Have a good day.
First day, full pads, how exciting was it out there?
It was real exciting for me, having to play two different positions. I know it's different for linebacker, obviously, so for me it's exciting to try to take on that challenge, play both roles. So for me it's exciting, a little bit different, but still exciting.
And Rahjai was pretty fired up about the touchdown he got on the first play. What do you think went from there from the defense? Did the defense get its shots in too?
Wasn't the first play, it was the second play. And I still don't think he scored on the second one, but I'll let the offense have their little bit of fun. But I think defensively, we were running the ball, hitting definitely a big stepping stone from last year, so I was excited about that. That's one positive out of it.
We talked a little bit about you playing rush in the spring. I guess what are the biggest differences, between the two positions, and how much do you spend at rush versus inside linebacker right now?
Well, it's definitely new. It's definitely humbling to be back there, like behind the lineman, and being up there like you're in a fight right now, every single play. So it's definitely different for me. But like I said, I embrace the challenge and just take it for what it is. Try to be the best player I can be for the team. And what was the second part of the question?
How much time do you spend between both positions? Like, are you spending more of your time learning rush right now? Because you can always go back to inside.
I'm spending the bulk of my time at rush, because I already know linebacker, so to prioritize rush, and then if need be, it can go back to linebacker anytime.
How much is playing both positions going to help you, since you do know the linebacker role, but as a defense, being able to, you know, kind of lead both of them?
I mean, that's for the coaches. That's above my pay grade. Whatever vision they have, I trust them. So I'm just trying to be the best player I can be. Doesn't matter where I'm at on the field. If that's rush and getting the best players on the field, then I'll do that to win games, because that's the moral story. I'm here to win football games.
Are you pretty excited about that aspect? I mean, getting after the quarterback and racking up some sacks potentially?
I mean, it all sounds good on paper until you have to get out there and do it. So it's definitely new to me, because, like, being a linebacker, you don't have to fight with your hands and know all these pass rush moves. So right now I'm looking up YouTube videos on how to beat linemen and things like that, because it's definitely easier than it looks. It's harder than what it looks like. So that's where I'm at right now. It's definitely frustrating going from linebacker and then, you know, making mistakes there, because I like to be a perfectionist. So there's that.
Are you only watching football videos? I know some linemen watch like wrestlers and some watch MMA guys, like just the hand fight, like to get through that. No, just football.
I mean, I just watch like Von Miller, and then I look at like, or I ask the lineman, I'd be like, what's the hardest thing for y'all to beat? And then I'll try to go home and work on that, like in the mirror or something. But it's not working right now, but that's why we got practice. Make a mistake at practice and then go back, fix it, and get it better the next day.
If you guys are gonna be successful this year, what's the thing that you gotta really do as a defense?
Play as one unit. We all be on the same page, communicate. That's the main thing, just communication. Make sure if we're all wrong, we're all right in a sense, if that makes sense. So that's the biggest thing for me, just being on the same page, you know, having the young guys take the next step and being a part of the defense, run, hit, stop the run, and then stop the run, everything should fall in place.
Even though you're learning a new position, it's been a long time since y'all had the same coordinator back to back. I mean, how much does that help the whole defense as far as the familiarity and just knowing what to do when you start up camp like this?
Yeah, I mean, for them, I would expect it to be good, but for me, it's like I'm learning a whole new defense again. But for like, as like a linebacker standpoint, I know it's good because we never had that before. So like, coming into the season camp, knowing what we're doing already, not having to go through those learning curves, make those mistakes that close to the season is definitely a good thing. Positive overall, because now guys that know what they're doing, we have guys back, and they're able to lead the younger guys and just show them how things are supposed to work and operate.
Have you gone up against Malovic at all on the practice field at the end?
Every day.
Yeah, he seems like a different dude with his weight added. So
Oh, yeah.
how much has that helped him as far as blocking?
I mean, he's strong. Like I said, it's different being from linebacker than having to be in a constant fight that fast. And big kudos to Bailey, because he got them long arms, and once he grabbed you, it's hard to get his hands off you. So, I mean, it only helps me get better. So, and then trying to help him get better. But like I said, I got my YouTube videos for him next practice. So he won today, but I'll get him tomorrow for sure.
The last two games of last year, winning those games against Temple and then SMU, I mean, it seems like it's so long ago, but how do y'all still draw on the momentum for that? I mean, is that still pretty fresh on y'all's mind?
I mean, I know SMU that was the funnest game I ever played in. So I know that's how it was for me. It was like that for a lot of guys. So I can only speak on behalf of me, but I'll always remember that game, because for me, that's like the point where we turned it around. I mean, we still have this season to go, but you can't like explain it, but like it's understood, like in the locker room, like that's the point when we realize who we want to be and like what steps to take forward, moving forward, to be the team we want to be.
Thanks,
Good job.
Thank you guys.